What is happening, Nerd Squad, and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. Last time we talked shop, we were breaking down 10 Omega level mutants like Storm, Kid Omega, obviously, Iceman, definitely one of them, but with so many to choose from, we just had to do another one. We had to, come on. So without further ado, I'm Taylor McWaters, and here are the top 10 most powerful Omega level mutants, part 2. Let's do it. Number 10, Brian Morrison. You know, the drummer from that one band? I don't know, he sounds like a drummer. We'll start with a recent addition to Marvel Comics. Brian Morrison made his first debut in X-Men Gold Volume 2, issue 36. He was a pretty average kid until, you know, he wasn't all of a sudden. He entered this frantic state and then he was this living embodiment of power. He looked like he was made of lava almost. It was a scary situation. Buildings, roads, people, animals, all destroyed. Just do not get in his way. Now, Cerebro obviously caught this action, and then when the X-Men arrived, Kitty tried to reason with the new mutant, and it worked for a little bit. He calmed down, he went back to human mode, and then he was asked to come to Xavier Institute for Mutant Education and Outreach, you know, to sharpen up on these new intimidating powers. But an angry townsfolk was still heartbroken over the damage caused beforehand, and then put a bullet in his head. That was a soft sounding gun. A bullet into his head. Now at first the doctors actually didn't want to operate. Because of his powers, they didn't want to administer any anesthesia, and then he'd go all god mode and destroy everyone. Fair. But luckily Dr. Kozaneski agreed to perform surgery on the mutant. They changed their mind about how they felt about mutants. It was a nice moment. So not only did he survive, but he also joined the team right after that. We're off to a good start on this list, I'd say, yeah. Number 9, Exodus. Described as one of the most powerful mutants alive, Exodus is an Omega level telekinetic, and he can lift around 100 tons of weight, all telekinetically, like I just said. He was born in the 12th century and he made his first appearance in X Factor 92, and from birth, Bennett felt different. Like he had this power deep within him, something was there, but he wasn't quite sure what it was. Now at this time, he was an adult, he was a crusader who was best friends with the Black Knight of that era, Eobard Garrington. But then when he finally arrived to the Tower of Power all alone, he was exhausted. He had traveled far and wide to get there, and then when he arrived, he heard a voice, and it spoke to him, asking if he was willing to risk everything to become powerful. And he's like, yes. Whoever that is, yes, definitely, yes. Then his powers manifested. So now in X-Men Legacy, he brought Professor X back from the dead, and then in new X-Men Volume 2, issue 46, he regenerated damaged organs, which honestly, not bad for a guy who's now immortal as well. And before we continue on with this list, we want to ask you guys to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. I mean, if you're still with us now, odds are you're liking it enough, so just give it a little tap, and then we'll get right back into this list. Easy peasy. Number 8, Stryfe. Making his debut in New Mutants issue 87, Stryfe was the clone of Nathan Summers, the son of Cyclops and Madeline Pryor. So he's a clone of Cable from the future, and he has this bad armor. He's a telepathic and telekinetic mutant, and unlike Cable, who has to devote his psionic powers to ensure this techno-organic virus doesn't get his right side as well, Stryfe doesn't need to worry about all that jazz. And obviously Apocalypse wanted this child. He wanted to raise the clone himself so that down the road he could one day claim the body as his own. Not a bad idea. Apocalypse named him Stryfe, and of course he had evil running through every lesson that he taught him. Number 7, Matthew Malloy. While some mutants seek out the hashtag Omega lifestyle, others just want an ordinary lifestyle. Not everybody wants superpowers, especially Matthew Malloy, that's for sure. I mean, his name alone, he doesn't have like a cool evil alias, he's just Matthew. Hey, it's Matthew. Old Eminem, Matthew Malloy. He appears for the first time in Uncanny X-Men Volume 3, issue 23, and he doesn't last long. Spoilers, sad spoilers. But it's a good reason, kind of, not really. One day in Charleston, South Carolina, Matt and his wife Jules were having an argument. It was a little bit heated, and then all of a sudden she vaporized. Yeah, the Skrulls have great timing, I guess. And that of course traumatized him, and then a year later when he finally saw Jules' sister, his late wife's sister Alana, well, more bad stuff happened. He got so upset when he saw her and he started to remember all these things that his powers manifested, and he released this explosion of energy. Heartbroken energy. Alana's life was taken this time as well, so it's just getting worse and worse. His powers were uncontrollable. Multiple X-Men were biting the bullet after trying to stop this guy. So Tempest thought, you know what, let's just go back in time, and with the help of Professor X, also from the past, we can make sure Matthew's parents never meet and then never have him. Fair, good point. And the way Charles does it too is so casual. He's like, all right, ready? We're good, let's go home. Number 6, Mastermind. Jason Wingard made his first appearance in X-Men issue 4. Now, he started off as a carnival mentalist, but was soon recruited into the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants from Magneto himself. He was needed for a very specific job. See, Jason, well rather Mastermind, was hired to use his illusionary powers to change Lorna Dane's memories so that she doesn't know that she's Magneto's daughter. Instead, she was made to believe that her parents had actually passed in a plane crash when she was just a wee child. Mastermind's power was also a necessity when it comes to taking over the country of Santo Marco. Mastermind was tasked to create an illusory army, and then he smiled as Magneto took over. He was like his little sidekick, little magician sidekick. He was like David Blaine, but like, evil and a sidekick. Once Mastermind cast an illusion of Cyclops to surprise Magneto, great prank, awesome, but Magneto ended up using a magnetic blast back, and then Scarlet Witch was the only real one in the way. It's just a prank, dude, just a prank, relax. Number 5, Lactuca The Knower. Making their first appearance in Planet-Size X-Men yesterday, how lovely, Lactuca was a member of the Great Ring of Araco. Now their power could come in handy around the house. They simply know the location of everything, and yes, including that one shirt that you still can't find. Where is it? Maybe the cottage? Maybe it's at the cottage. They helped out Marvel Girl and Exodus actually when they had to move the entire island of Araco to Mars. Yeah, that's quite the move. All hands on deck. They're an Omega level mutant with extreme spatial awareness, but it's still unknown if that means the universe that they're in, or if that also includes the multiverse. We're still trying to figure that out in comics. Either way, there's room on this list for that new mutant. Number 4, Maddie, aka The Weapon. Good nickname. Maddie made her first debut in Deadpool vs. Old Man Logan issue 1. She was a mutant who started to steal others' belongings in school. Now, she didn't mean to by any means, but they would just kind of teleport to her all of a sudden. Then one day when she was missing her father, he was working far away, she hadn't seen him in about a year, she accidentally teleported him to her. What a pleasant surprise. He was like mid-shovel too. Only thing was, this does a lot of damage to a human being, so they don't often survive this cosmic commute. So now she was detected by Cerebro, so Logan investigated what was going on. And that's when she ran into Wade, who also joined in on the fun. Now in actuality, Maddie wanted to be captured by Genform so that she herself can understand her powers more. But then when Genform abducted her and did experiments, she was then forced to teleport these massive vehicles and structures over Deadpool in order to crush him. Now the way Maddie helped him out was pretty cool, I gotta admit. She teleported Wolverine's claws into Wade's fists, and then he dug his way out. And yes, in case you were wondering, the claws were returned afterwards. Maddie took care of Genform's leader, Agent Hart, 2 months later herself. We love revenge. Nice. Number 3, Decimus Furius. Decimus Furius sounds like a Harry Potter spell. Decimus Furius made his first debut in Uncanny X-Force issue 1. He was born in Rome. Both of his parents sadly passed away when he was really young, so he had no choice but to live in the streets. So then around 281 AD, yeah, this was a little while ago, that's when his powers emerged. He started to attack people randomly until he was eventually locked up. He didn't really know what was going on. But it also didn't take long for his skills to be used in the Colosseum as a gladiator. He fought every day for his life for a few years, with freedom being that glorious prize that he's always chasing after. He was soon worshipped as the dark god Minotaur, so yeah, he was kind of killing it. He was picked as Apocalypse's final horseman, the horseman of war, of course, and he fought Deadpool, and then soon he fought the entire X-Force. This guy was a unit. He had war-filled psyche, so if you try and read his mind, it will backfire, and then you'll be overthrown with sorrow and hate. Plus, you don't want to get too close to this guy anyways, because one hit from his axe, and you'll soon have the cold thirst for war, just attacking people around you for no reason. Number 2, Isca. Isca the Unbeaten, there's a name for you. She made her first debut in X-Men Volume 5 issue 12 just last year, so also quite new. Isca was one of the many who lived on Okara. Now when her sister, Genesis, had 4 children, Isca forged the Scarab to celebrate, which was his epic sword divided into 4 parts. She gave it to her brother, Apocalypse, brother by marriage. Very important to say, brother by marriage, not blood brother. Now the Scarab was a symbol of the Genesis line of Okara, and when the mutants went to battle with the Amenthi Daemons, Isca betrayed her kind and then joined Annihilation's army. Traitor. I mean, well, her power is literally to not lose, so it made sense. Yeah, so she obtains what's called psychokinesis, so never play poker with her because you'll lose. Because she can't lose. She literally can't lose. One-on-one, battles, dance-offs, you name it, she'll win them all. Probability is manipulated in her favor, and on top of that, she can also shapeshift if need be. Like when she joined Annihilation, her body was then covered in all these occult symbols. And then when she's aligned with the X-Men, her skin turns from red to gold. How neat. Number 1, Gabriel Shepherd. Making his debut in X-Men Volume 3, Issue 36, Gabriel Shepherd was the last of the proto-mutants. That's when the X gene was first evolved. So that was like 700 years ago, and luckily he was the most powerful and average looking, so he took on new identities, always moved about, he played it safe. He was blending in as a human, until the X-Men tracked him down to ask him about all these proto-mutants. But Gabriel's powers were already in play here. See, he read their minds and then learned that the other proto-mutants had been resurrected to be used just as a weapon. But they didn't say any of that in the pitch. So he got upset and attacked. Then Pixie sent him to a timeout in Antarctica. And then after he cooled down, pun intended, he had a conversation with Pixie about the past and then decided to never let proto-mutants be used again, including himself. And then he turned himself into pure energy. What a way to go. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on Top 10 Nerd. Please check out our other videos or playlists, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and we'll do the rest for you. I've been your host, Taylor McWaters, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Can't wait till hair places open up. I'm gonna pull out hair gel again. Could look like Patty D coming back. Spiked hair, perfect hair. Always the perfect hair. So I'm Taylor McWaters, and here are the top 10 most powerful Omega villains. Nope, here are the top 10, damn it, Anesthesia, right? That's how you say it? So I was like, Anastasia, you know her, she's so gentle with her hands. So I was getting some coffee to hydrate myself. There's a link there. I like how I look down, like the child's there. I'm like, hi, I'm a method actor. I'll say 9 more. He was like this as a sidekick. Freak in the sheets and also in the streets. I can't even say that. So stupid. I'm a freak in the streets, baby. You got a toothbrush? There's a name. It's actually a very, very great name. It sounds like Trump. It's a really great name. It's the best name.